You should use a condom before you listen.
The American dream is dead.
John Lisle, L.A. Lloyd, and Drew Bennett, Beaver Kool-Aid.
I've been trying to bridge San Antonio and Austin, and it only took a fucking package bomber to do it. You know, he managed to cross cities for us. So he brings us all together. Well, shirts.
He only got the shirts.
Yeah, he didn't quite get into it, but he was damn close.
Didn't even get to 1604 barely.
Yeah.
He didn't make it that far, did he?
No.
You know, whatever the hell all that is.
Yeah.
But then we had another one that they're saying mixed on while we're recording this at this time. APD was saying it was incendiary device. KXAN saying it was a road flare that the guy at Goodwill opened. But there was just another explosion at Goodwill on Brody and Slaughter.
This is in mine and Drew's backyard here. This is a Goodwill that anytime I clean out the garage, this is the Goodwill I go to drop off my shit. You know, there's restaurants in that shopping center we eat at. I mean, this is...
It's in the hood.
It's in the hood, if you will. And this is a scary one. So
in a city of 2 million people, roughly, it's right around the corner.
Yeah. So it might not be right down the street, but it's where we, go to frequently.
Down the street from me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's around where a lot of my life happens.
Well, I know when we talked before, you were talking about, all this stuff from, East Austin. And now with the tripwire bomb, that changed to another region of Austin.
Well, on the podcast that we had earlier that we recorded, that's what we were saying. The fourth one, the one you're talking about, hadn't gone off yet.
Yeah. So now it's changed.
It seems like the circle is predominantly Southwest Austin now. As I said last time, I thought he was going to try to do a complete circle around the city and just go like, hey, no one's safe in Austin. I figured he was going to go, Southwest Austin, then up to Northwest Austin, and maybe way north, and kind of do a loop. But it seems like now he's kind of concentrating on this area, but.
Well, right. I mean, he did some business here. He went up to FedEx, which is at Ben White and Brody, and he sent 2 packages.
Right.
Both of them, one ended up in shirts and the other ended up in a sorting facility here. And it was found and detonated by the police.
But they were both addressed back to Austin. So he sent it from Austin to Austin. It gets
it did. He, she.
It.
Yeah.
He, she.
Yeah.
And we talked about that on the last podcast too.
Well, it's an it. I mean, I don't even think you can't even be a human being and do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it went off on the conveyor belt in shirts. So it was, it was going through the process of getting shipped back to Austin to whatever address, which hasn't been put out to the public. But I mean, it could be anyone's address, But anyway, it was sent from Austin to be received in Austin, but it had to go through the shirts facility there, and it blew up on the conveyor belt. So no one was injured except for the lady, I guess, said she had ringing in her ears from the volume of it, but no shrapnel hit her or anything like that. It was just predominantly from the boom.
And is this just speculation again? We keep assuming that it's a solo operator.
I'm not so sure of that after tonight. I mean,
it doesn't have to be a solo operator. That's for sure.
My initial one was ex-military, suffering from PTSD, lashing out. Now with the volume of it, I'm thinking there could definitely be more than one person, and maybe not military at all. I mean, maybe they know exactly what they're doing. And then, there was, which got a little coverage today on Reddit. Drew posted this on Facebook, and I heard it on a few talk radio stations talking about it, that the bomber was actually having conversations, which I don't think it was. Do you, Drew? I mean, I don't think it was him.
The one thing that the guy on there said was that he used fishing line and a wooden dowel rod to secure the tripwire on Dawnsong, which is a street here.
He was pretty specific about it. You're right about that. I picked up on that as well.
He talked about, I think he alluded in that AMA, which is called Ask Me Anything if you don't run on Reddit. I think he alluded to the fact that one of those 2 packages was meant for Alex Jones.
Right. He said a talk show host, radio talk show
Not to bring in a guy. I mean, nobody likes Alex Jones, and I don't want to bring in another guy. I don't want to bring in another guy to this and like attach somebody's name to it. It's not fair for Alex Jones, even though he's a piece of shit. But that is what this guy said on Reddit, and we don't know we don't know if this was a troll, if it was some kid having a good time, a stupid good time, or if it was this guy, with a set of brass balls, which I think he already has.
He does have brass balls. I think it was some impersonator. I don't think it was the real person doing that. I mean, but there were things, like I said, he said specifically that.
And then he deleted his account.
Yeah.
So if you go there now and look at that thread, all of his comments are gone. He was rather he was suspended by Reddit.
But why would they do that? I mean, I would let the guy go on. I mean, if the guy is crazy, if this is him, which is not, but if it was, I'd let him put anything out there. And there's got to be someone that can trace that IP address.
There's no management. From what I understand about Reddit, there's no management over there, right? I mean, there's a moderator for the Austin board, and those people decide what happens on. You can't sit over in wherever they are, California, and go over the countless subreddits that they've got there. You got to have moderators. So I think you had a guy.
He's gotten through a lot of that.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm on a lot of subreddits.
Yeah. As soon as he said that, he just had this knowledge.
Right.
He was just laying it out there, and I thought, yeah, he's done this. He knows what's going on. First-hand knowledge.
I had no idea there was a subreddit. So, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's a Reddit is Reddit, and then there are subreddits that are based upon different kinds of interest. I mean, literally anything that you can think of. One of them is Austin.
I think today was the second day I've ever been on Reddit in my entire life, just because you posted that. So, but it got, like I said, obviously a lot of people heard about it because it was on Jeff Ward's show on KLBJ, and he was kind of poking fun at it. So it is getting some mileage, whoever that person was.
All right. So, Lloyd, now that you've been introduced, ask me anything. Come on, baby. Ask me anything. Here I am.
What is the latest thing you've ordered that should come delivered to your door in a cardboard box?
I got some carnauba wax I put in my hair. I got some sunscreen.
Nice.
And I got, what was the last thing I got? Oh, yeah. I got this this crap to blast away at some bolts to try to take off my lawnmower blade. PB Blast or something like that that's supposed to really loosen stuff. Not WD-40, which is water displacement. That didn't work for crap. So I got something because I was attempting today to do that, and it didn't happen.
Weren't you a little nervous to order something called PB Blast?
I know, and two of those items were add-on. So I had to really finally find something to get me right over the edge where it was over $25 and they'd send it to me.
Can you get a large one of those at the Dairy Queen?
And a little PB Blast. That's it.
I'll have a large PB.
So that's my next package. That's coming.
No. You don't need to order that. I want you to tell me more about that wax for your hair. Does it thicken it up? Does it bring any out? Because I'll order the the maxi size.
No, it's just like they have all these things that are like, it's either gels or more waxy things.
Right.
And, whatever the hell. It's what I got.
What are we talking about?
I know. Lloyd wants to know about hair care, which we can understand. We understand why that is.
Trying to get a little thickness.
I mean, Lloyd,
sure.
when you were where Lloyd is, I mean, every strand has a name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's
kind of like
when you go get a haircut, you go get a haircut. So, I mean,
like talking about shampoo and stuff like porn for him and everything.
It is, man. Yeah.
So everyone is got a name. He knows every location.
My stylist name is Jose Vidal. And, he gives me that nice scalp massage. And he's like, yeah, I'm working it, man. I said, thank you, Jose. I appreciate that, man.
I just wish you'd just braid it down the back, man. That truly would be a rat tail.
It is fine in the back. It's just, the top. I'm trying to thicken that, but it's just, there's no hope, man. It's just, some get the good genes, some don't.
All right. So there's the liquor in the rear. Gotcha. Good.
Speaking of liquor in the rear, Drew?
Yeah.
Pick it up from there.
And now that we T-balled this for you, Drew, my gosh, you can go anywhere with this. Now,
no kidding.
Drew
I feel like I'm 4 years old. Again,
I'm
stepping up to the plate. Ball's right there.
You
No
know,
chance of not hitting it.
I was so fired up about this podcast because I mean, all I'm getting is this package bomb thing. I'm feeling like, yeah, I'm gonna come in here tonight. We're gonna have this great conversation about this maniac, and you know, I was ready. I felt like I was on CNN tonight. I had everything lined up. Next thing I know, we're talking about baldness, and well, I got to bring up some shit humor, of course, because I almost shit my pants at work today. So
Don't do it.
No, I farted so hard, I almost shit my pants. It was a good one.
Well, that's good.
So
great.
That's good.
That's great. Now go and can't you go and use hand sanitizer?
Well, you know,
we climb that ladder.
Look,
the
man.
fucking
All right, so you
amusement park.
You hit the buzzer. All right, there's our.
Yep. Here we go down the slide, down to the shithole.
No, I just said ask me anything, and you decided to ask me about my package coming, and then you
went right into it.
You know, you went in because you were thinking you're hair centric, and you went there.
Hair centric.
Well, yeah, when you're like that, I mean, there's not, you know, dude, you're driving around. You got a Scout mobile, and the fuel gauge is glowing orange. Okay,
well,
I got you.
It's not fair that
but I was just trying to say it's Reddit, man. Ask me anything,
Drew. Go for it.
Because if you follow Reddit enough, you will see.
All right, I'll ask you a classic Reddit question.
All right.
Okay. There's so many people that
John,
do this.
would you rather fight 100 duck-sized gorillas, or would you rather fight one gorilla-sized duck?
I knew Drew was smoking pot again tonight. I knew it. As soon as he came on, knew the weed was there.
It's classic.
Yeah.
Classic Reddit question for
Well,
you.
I'm definitely going with the gorilla-sized duck.
Yeah.
You know that. One-on-one, baby. One-on-one. I can't deal with those other numbers.
Going one-on-one?
So, yeah, I'm one-on-one. I'm going with the gorilla-sized duck.
But look if imagine if those teeny little gorillas just started charging Lisle, though, like a whole flock of little mini gorillas, you know, kicking him in the shin a couple times.
Yeah, but they're only duck-sized, Lloyd. You don't want like a gorilla-sized duck. Man.
That's what I'm saying. I think I'd go for the duck-sized gorillas.
I'm going for the one-on-one. Because I know,
Yeah,
I mean,
and we're assuming this is
you
no
may at me, but if I can get it on the ground, I got
no weapons, only your manhood.
That's it, man.
Wow.
That's it. If I can get it on the ground.
Look, I've seen some fucking swans off of Ladybird Lake that were only about 2 feet high. They start coming at you when you're in a kayak, man. I start going the other way because they scare the shit out of me. I'm telling you, man. You think about those big ass swans. They attack dogs and you want
They
to
bite hard.
shit, yeah.
Yeah.
And he wants a gorilla-sized duck? No way. I'm not going there.
All right. All right.
You know, if a
But you went
tiger
there already.
attacks
No,
a guy
you were
at a zoo,
Yeah.
and then they typically put the tiger down, right? Don't they? Like if a tiger, you know, kills a guy at a zoo, they typically put the tiger down, right?
I would
Didn't they
think
do that
so.
to a gorilla? Everybody got upset. A gorilla killed a guy, and they had to put the Harambe or whatever. You guys remember that?
Well, didn't they kill the shamu that took out the trainer there?
Yeah. Why don't you, when the swans are so aggressive down in the park, why don't they just go and shoot those swans? Can we get some more peaceful animals down at the park? I guess that's my point.
Dude, we're in Texas. You know there are people longing to light them up.
No
I
kidding.
hate your long neck.
Swan season.
There you are. Oh, white and proud.
It was coming right for me. Remember how I was telling you guys about HQ, the phone game show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play. So they've got another one. There's another competing like the Pepsi to HQ's Coca-Cola, and it's called Cash Show. And it's a trivia thing. You can go and it's 12 questions, and you answer all the questions, and if you answer them right, you win. And guess what?
You won.
I won Cash Show tonight.
How much you get?
59 cents.
Sweet.
Boom.
So
How does
whatever you guys
one
want to
get in
do
on
this
that?
weekend, whatever you want to do, it's all
I
on
hope
me.
you threw that, you know, like just I don't know, just write it on
Up
a piece
to-
of paper, throw it on the bed and say, you know, future's ours.
Yeah,
baby.
look at it. Take a
Yeah,
picture
yeah.
of it.
Man, I
All
took
those
59
quarters?
cents out of my pocket and I threw it on the bed and we just rolled around and fucked around.
Nice.
But anyway, 59 cents, that's not bad.
Oh, I thought
and
she was
so,
going to say, hey, usually it's only 41 cents. So
if you guys want to have
pretty
some
good.
drinks this weekend, I'm buying up to 59 cents.
Beautiful.
Come on out.
Beautiful.
Be a good time. Cash show. I was pretty excited, I have to say. Took a screenshot of it. Threw it on Facebook. First time I've ever.
What do you have to do to break a buck?
Well, some nights more people play, and tonight I shared $1,500 with 4,000 people.
I got you. Damn.
So that's why I ended up
people
with
yelling
59 cents.
bingo at once.
But nonetheless, I answered all 12 questions correctly, and I felt like Stephen Hawking.
And what was the most difficult question you answered?
Oh gosh, I can't remember. They were all really hard. Really, really hard.
Of course they were. They were the hardest.
We're talking
questions
Mensa
I've ever
level.
heard. No, I'm
Yeah. If
Mensa level
a
questions,
gorilla-sized duck shit in the woods, does anybody hear it?
That only 4,000 got there.
Yeah, I'll give you one thing. HQ kind of asked. They asked some questionable trivia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like so current or so bizarre. Like how many pennies can you fit in Cleveland? That kind of shit. And Cash Show doesn't really do that. They have more, trivia, classic trivia questions. Answers that you have to know, and they can be a little easier sometimes, which is why I won. But nonetheless, I have 59 cents more than I had in my PayPal account, fellas.
Right.
I'm feeling good about myself.
Is that how they pay you through PayPal?
God, I just remembered my PayPal account.
Wow.
Yeah, check your PayPal.
Yeah, but didn't they they have to take that commission out, so you probably only got about 12 cents. That's the way PayPal works.
Oh, man, I totally forgot about my PayPal account.
John, what if you've been selling eBay shit in your sleep and you got like a bunch of money in your PayPal account?
Yeah, how about that? That's how I used
People
to
don't-
pass money along.
No one knows.
Son when
No
he
one
was
knows why we sleep. Maybe it's to post things on auction sites.
PayPal seems like so yesterday. All right.
Your jokes are so yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, it does. It just seems like so, PayPal. But that's what I mean. You just said it, and I thought I might have some money there. I totally forgot about PayPal. I'm
You
writing
gotta
it
check
down.
your
now.
AOL.
So if they catch this person or persons or the its of the world,
Yeah.
Texas more than likely, if he doesn't get killed or shot by some gun-happy deputy.
We'll hang him high. Well, hang him high.
Yeah, so
In
he's
the middle of town.
there's no
Yep.
way that this guy's not going to not get the death penalty, right? That's a quick one, right? That's an easy one.
Oh, yeah. And everybody will be there.
Are you guys pro death penalty dudes?
John, you want to take this one first?
Well, you know what? I vacillate. I go back and forth on this.
Yeah.
I have for a number of years. So
The reason I ask is because they questioned those kids in Florida, and said, the DA is going for the death penalty. How do you feel about that? Some are like, absolutely. I hope he gets it quick and fast. And others are like, no, I want him to rot in jail for, all eternity till he's gone. And I started thinking about Florida. I was like, Ted Bundy. I was like, why don't they bring that fucking electric chair back and let this guy fry a little bit? Because I am pro death penalty. I really am.
that's the Christian in you, Lloyd.
It is. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said I ride the fence. I'm definitely conservative on some sides, liberal on some sides, but there comes a point that, like I said, I want to walk up to all these protesters outside of our radio station that are protesting the pro-lifers against this abortion clinic, and I just want to walk up to them and I'm like, hey, if they catch this this bomb guy, what do you think they should do? Give him a death penalty, and just to see what they'd say.
Yeah, of course they kill him. But I thought all life was sacred. Kill him.
That's what
Kill him, I tell you. Kill him.
That's
Kill
why
him
I bring this
all.
up. Where are you at on this?
Well,
I don't know. I'm with John. I'm wishy-washy because there is the idea of the guy rotting in jail.
Right.
But then, jail can be, you can live a life in jail.
You
It's
become
not
accustomed to it. It's like, yes.
It's not fun, but you can become accustomed to it, right? And you end up, they give you jobs there, and you can get a degree, and there's lots of, you watch TV.
Our house, very, very, very fine house.
But then again, who
But
wants
again,
to
you guys
pay?
are married, so you're already living it, huh?
Where is the Lisle gong when we need it, man? Good God. If there was ever a gong moment, there it was right there.
You have it in the back. You don't have it in your office anymore.
To the garage.
Oh, man.
And then on the other side, I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay for the guy to have to live there the rest of his life.
Right.
Yeah, I know there's that part.
And the deal is that, listen, I mean, if you killed if you killed a bunch of kids, I don't care how old you are, you should probably burn for that. And we need to get rid of you. You need to be off the planet. You don't need to be here anymore. You don't belong here. And I feel that way too. I don't know. In this case, a kid died, a 17-year-old kid, who was going places. Right. And I'm not trying to lift him up to where he's, more important than the other people that died or the other person that died in this case. Right. But there are people in the hospital right now. This guy's a piece of shit. He's a coward. And if you ask me, I think they're going to give him the death penalty when they find him. And I think he'll be deserved.
Oh, in this stage.
I don't think he'll ever make it to court. I think he'll be either blow himself up or they'll kill him before. I don't think he'll ever get tried, and we'll never know what the fuck his whole reasoning for it was. I really don't think we'll ever hear it. I really don't.
So check this out. When I was growing up, there's a place called Boys Ranch up in Dalhart, Texas. And if you have, maybe kids that you can't care for, or if you've got kids who have some kind of a behavior issue, it's Boys Ranch. And so it's a good place where kids can go and go to school and graduate. And I ended up befriending a guy who's the valedictorian of Boys Ranch. I ended up going to college with the guy. We did our college things, and experimented and with pot and stuff like that. And he got into way heavier drugs than I ever did. And then we sort of stopped hanging out because he was just wild, right? He ended up working at a titty bar in Midland and dealing drugs. And then I lost track of the guy, lost track of him. And I talked to a mutual friend years later, and she said, no, go Google him. So at this point, the internet's around. I Google the guy, and he's the Denver porn king. That's his name, like in Denver. And he owns an escort service.
Some, huge federal job or.
No, he owns an escort service, and he's been in jail for beating a girl with a baseball bat on a meth bench.
God.
Wow.
So that guy dies as a result of being held up in a hotel room on a police standoff, and he runs out to the cops brandishing what they thought was a gun and what he was pretending to be a gun, but was actually a Leatherman. And for those who don't know what a Leatherman is, it's a tool. And so he's brandishing a Leatherman, and they shot him dead. The valedictorian of Boys Ranch ended up, I think he was a valedictorian in 1990, 1989 maybe. And he ends up becoming the Denver porn king and dying in a hotel room. Anybody who's listening to the podcast, go and Google the guy. His name's Gary Haney. And he was the Denver porn king for a while. And then...
I know our good friend Josh Enriquez is back in film school now, and he's looking for a good biopic. So I think you just laid it out for him. And I think I could probably play that part.
What's his name?
The sad thing is that his name's Gary Haney, Haney. And you can read about him. But the sad thing about it is that he was a talented kid, and he was a good person who ended up really, just going the wrong way. And he came from the kind of a background where he was at risk for that post high school, and post Boys Ranch. So it was a sad thing.
So was it drugs or was it mental health? I mean, what do you think led him into this path that he took.
For me, I'll be honest with you. I think it was his inability to handle his drugs.
Yeah.
And his intense need to be accepted.
And that's why you're so
yeah,
good as a productive member of society, because you can handle your drugs very well, Drew. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I've always been able to handle all my drugs.
Being the Denver porn king, do I have a chance?
He had an easy, like a magazine, like he was the publisher of a, I don't know, like you see the Austin Chronicle here in town. I don't know what it is in San Antonio, but then you have the other zines, that at whatever diner you show up at. And he had one of those for adults.
Wow.
He was doing really well. But
Rocky
the drugs,
Mountain
man,
oyster.
he was way too into meth.
Rocky Mountain oyster.
Yeah. Rocky Mountain high all the time on meth. Yeah. And he missed the whole good part of Colorado by like a decade.
Yeah.
Right? Because he could have just hung out and smoked a bunch of weed up there. Instead. But yeah, go Google that guy. Crazy story.
That's good. And feel better about yourself. Go for the gorilla-sized duck. I'm just telling you, 1-on-1.
But anyway, back to the ducks.
100 of anything. Good God.
Yeah, you got to deal with 100 of them. You're right. At the end of the day, those little fuckers start attacking your legs, your feet.
You go one big-ass duck. It's so what? It's gorilla size. It's still one duck. It doesn't have hands.
Still got that long-ass neck. So if you fucking take that teeny little neck out, you're golden.
Yeah,
but it's
no
got those
hands.
wings. You know how they get the wings out and then they peck at you and
Yeah,
stuff
they
like that.
peck your eyes
the size
out.
of a gorilla, yeah, it could take your whole face off, man.
100 of them. 100 of them?
Peck.
No, I'm saying one.
I'm just saying you can, if they're duck-sized gorillas, even though they're strong, you can still kick them into the wall and knock a few out, gain an advantage.
There's 100 of them, Drew.
Right.
100.
Yeah, you're right. I think I'm going to have to start leaning to Lisle has won me on this case. I think I'm going to go with him now. He's kind of pulled me to the other side.
Damn,
it's only 10 groups of 10. Just break it down like that and you work on a chunk at a time.
Little baby gorillas.
They're not all going to come at you at once. They got to stand behind one another and wait.
I'm classifying this under DMA. Don't ask me anything. Nothing.
DMA is don't me ask. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not a Redditor. So all I know is don't ask me anything. Stop it.
Yeah.
Don't want any of that.
I won't ask you why the narwhal.
Hang on a second, man. I think I just detected a strand missing.
I feel like you guys already know everything there is to know about me. I don't think there's anything you could come up with you could ask me.
Dude. Do we have to take a knee?
You might need to. I think
I know there's plenty I don't know about you.
It's kind of like that scene at the end of Forrest Gump where that little feather starts floating off in the air. That was that one little strand, man. I think the ceiling fan just took it out.
Come back,
Lloyd, how old were you? How old were you when you experienced your first sexual encounter? And what was it?
I was college age. I was 19. I was a late comer. I was a late bloomer.
Late comer. Yeah.
I was a late comer.
Making jokes he doesn't even realize he's making.
Look at that. Who writes
it?
this?
We already know about you, Drew. That was Gary Haney.
Right.
Yeah.
He was hanging out with the fucking Boy Forest team there. They're all doing circle jerks on the pizza there.
Yeah.
Last one to come gets to be the valedictorian. So
we were all eating White Crosses and doing one another.
Oh, God, I gotta go back to my iron lung for a minute.
So 19, it was 19 when you got laid, or 19 when you got your first blowjob, or 19 when you first kissed your first girl? I mean, what are we talking about?
No, I got little petting and kissing and all that shit. But yeah, first time having sexual intercourse with a woman, I was 19. Yeah. 19.
Yeah. So nothing sexual in nature before that. Like you didn't get a Hummer before you had sex.
No, not even a blowjob. There might have been
any kind of finger banging or
a little bit of that. Yeah, sure.
On a farm.
Yeah.
A movie theater action.
Right. There was a cucumber or two, maybe a sheep, goat. Other than that,
melon in the sun.
Right.
Yeah. Boring out a cantaloupe.
Kind of rolled her over in the side, and saw that nice little white belly and just had to go right up in it. It was
You
nice.
may be seedless now. The summer of '76, I was in Germany, and that's where I lost my virginity.
Wow.
Asking to a
How
French girl.
old were you? French girl.
It was right before I turned 17.
Let me ask you this. Did you draw her before you had sex?
You were in Germany when you lost your virginity. I lost my virginity in Greensboro, North Carolina after the Diver Down tour when some chick had the hots for David Lee Roth. You lose your virginity in Germany, and I lose mine after a Van Halen concert. That sucks.
Well, I think that just shows that, once again, you already said it before, we're different people.
Yeah, I guess so, man. I'm a farm boy. I'm a
different people.
I'm a I'm blue collar.
Tupperware. When I was 14. What?
I lost my virginity in my girlfriend's mother's apartment, and there was like 3-day-old bowl of mac and cheese on the headboard. I'll never forget that. That was really like the highlight of the night.
That's a metaphor.
Headboard with a shelf. What was that? A waterbed?
Yeah, it was one of those things.
Sweet.
In the 80s, man.
Speakers.
We were swishing and swashing all over. Yeah, I had to get in a boat.
And
I thought you when you first started this conversation, I thought you were going to say, I lost my virginity and my girlfriend's mother. I was like, wait a minute.
Wow, it was really kinky shit, Lloyd.
Right.
That's what we get into in Amarillo.
Gary Haney set it up.
Yeah,
Gary Haney set up
Denver
the whole
porn
thing.
king set it up.
He was a porn king of Dalhart.
He actually came to the radio station one time because he wanted to get out. He had a moment of clarity, and he wanted to get a respectable gig at a radio station instead of being a DJ at a titty bar. And so he came to the radio station.
There's a fine line there, man. A very fine line.
Yeah, no shit, right? He came to the radio station, and he drops off an air check.
Okay. Let's do some radio magic here. I haven't heard the air check, but we're going to let Lisle pretend he's heard the air check. Lisle, if you will, give us...
No, you're not putting me on the spot.
Come on, let's hear you do what you interpret this air check sounded like, Lisle. Come on.
Yeah, what do you think this air check sounded
Come on, John.
like?
Let's hear
Hey,
it.
do you have any lead-in music? Like, do you have any Motley Crue or Metallica or anything like that? We get in trouble on the podcast for playing that, probably.
Yeah, we would. Don't look for me to do
Come
it.
on, man. Let's hear a
We
little...
don't have any
Come on,
we
John.
don't have any music that would be appropriate.
What year
for
are
an
we
air check.
talking here? We're talking like 88, 89?
Yeah, we're talking 89, 90.
Little cherry pie from Warrant,
Yeah, Skid Row, something like that.
Yeah, Youth Gone Wild.
Poison, yeah.
Lyle, come on, let's hear it.
You're not getting it from me.
Any idea? Nothing?
I was waiting for Lyle to bring those fucking pipes on, go like, now to the center stage.
See, you could do
Cinnamon.
it. You're closer to it than I am.
Savannah.
That's pretty close to what it was. It was he had a bit. He had a lot more.
Chlamydia.
He kind of put
He had-
one with the other and just kind of.
He had an affection to an affection, is that the right word, to his voice?
Emotion.
It was like this. He would say,
Like an affectation.
Angel to the stage. Coming up, Jasmine to the stage.
Did you ever consider any point in your life, or maybe pre-radio, of getting into some kind of DJ job, besides titty bar or radio, that because you heard some guy on a microphone going like, man, I really want to do what that guy does. And I'll give you an example. North Carolina State Fair. There's a ride called the Himalaya. This is circa 1978.
Oh, I know the Himalaya. Oh, they got a Wonderland in Amarillo.
There was a guy that was playing, play that funky music. White boys, speakers were good. I hadn't lost my virginity yet, obviously, but I was with a cute little blonde, we're going round and round, and, start making out with her, and this guy goes, "Do you want to go a little faster?" I was like, "Yeah." And we got faster, and the music got louder, and I was like, I went home, told my mom, I was like, "Mom, I want to go hang out with the fair people. You know, this guy was cool. I want to be that guy." And so,
and the inertia is pulling her closer to you.
oh yeah, it was great. Do you want to go faster? Lyle, you know what I'm talking about. You've been to that fair.
Then he says, "Do you want to go backward?"
Yeah, do you want to go backwards? And then you start sliding onto her side.
Yeah. Crushing her with her.
He's going into fucking, some Casey and the Sunshine Band song at this point, and it's sounding good. You're squishing up a little bit on your girl. You're getting a little tongue. And do you want to go backwards? Drew,
Wow.
You know where I've been, man. Thank you.
I've been there, dude. I've been to the Himalaya many times. Many times.
Lyle might have been that guy. He's a couple of years older than me. It might have been him. I don't know.
Wasn't me, Lloyd, but I know what you're talking about. And there was certain magic in the air as the Himalaya whirled faster. The DJ got raunchier. The music got harder.
So did I.
But all Gary Haiti could talk about was Drew.
Now we know why he was the valedictorian.
Lips on my face.
Oh, boy. You
Yeah.
guys are reaching for it.
I know, man.
The Himalaya is up in Wonderland, which is a kind of a boutique, amusement park in Amarillo.
Really?
It's the largest amusement park between Dallas, which has Six Flags, and Denver, which may have some other Six Flags.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a kind of a cool retro, amusement park, and they have the Himalaya, and I've ridden it since I was a young kid, and kissed many a lady.
But that's not where you drew career inspiration. Boy.
And
Look, man,
Once again, Lloyd, you've put it down
You're
there again. See, it didn't take a whole lot
right.
to
And
inspire you.
Look,
There you
and
were
here's
for
the deal,
something.
man.
I want that. Whatever that is, I like that. I want to do that job. I want to be a part of the James E. Strait shows.
Right. I want to ride on the train.
I mean, just midway life, man. I got to be a part of that.
I want to be a carny.
You liked that whole, right. You liked being the jock and, controlling the music and giving the kids a good time. I was a DJ in a club, but I didn't, it wasn't because of the microphone.
You
I
wanted
was
to
a
get
DJ
laid.
in the club because I just like to be in the DJ at the club. I like the music. But then radio happened in a totally different way. It didn't spawn from the club DJ.
Well, if people were still inspired to be in radio like I was when I was a teenager, I mean, that would be a really inspirational story. Going like, look, I rode this really shitty ride at a state fair, and then 40 years later, I climbed my way all the way up to be a program director at KLBJ.
I thought that was a shitty ride, but that 40 years in radio, that was the shittiest ride.
That was a really shitty ride.
At least in my life, and then it dumps you out right here. You go, wait a minute.
Yeah, and then in 2012, when radio says, "Are you ready to go backwards?"
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what happened.
I will go to your party and I will tear it up.
Really? Beaver Kool-Aid
Get it hard.
with Lyle, L.A. Lloyd, and Drew.
Make it like a man.
So go ahead, stick your head up your ass.